Versioning the project can have some interesting challenges. One of the challenges is to get the version number as well as other information to the client-side code. I have found this method to be the most reliable and the easiest to implement, and normally I bind the Increment Project version to a pre-commit Git hook, but you can bind it to a build event as well. Here are all the key components for this process. First and foremost is the appsetting.json file that contains the version number. It will contain other information that will eventually get propagated to the server, such as the database connection string. Then, from within the ever so useful and accommodating startup.cs file, I have created a C# class that I will call application configuration. Clever name, I know, huh? Anyway, this file contains three properties: the connection string, the version number, and the splash time in milliseconds. The connection string is unnecessary for this application since I'm not using a database, but I put it here for demonstration purposes to show you how you can abstract it from the rest of the code. Okay, here's an interesting difference between older versions of ASP.NET. In older versions, we use the app.config for abstracting the application settings, such as the connection string. Now we use the appsetting.json file. And these parameters will eventually get compiled into the ASP.NET application code. Now when we want to bump up the version number to the next increment, we run the gulp task Increment Project version. This works great for incrementing and integrating the version number with the app. But how do we display the information to the end user? We simply call a server-side web API endpoint, which will return these values to the client in an object, dev.config. Let's take a look at that class. I recommend that you set a breakpoint in the HTTP GET method of the sysinfocontroller.cs. and see that you can return the version number to the client to display in the About dialog box.